Just when you thought it couldn't get more feisty, the Tesla and UAW beef has taken a whole new dimension. After reaching tentative agreements with Detroit automakers, the union's president, Shawn Fain, said that the UAW aims to expand its reach and is targeting the most valuable car company in the world. The UAW might have set its sights on Tesla, but some workers at the EV company told Insider they'd be hard-pressed to join a union. Musk, for his part, has in the past publicly invited the UAW to hold a union election at Tesla, expressing confidence that his workers would vote against organizing and claiming that former UAW workers who work at Tesla are not huge fans of UAW. Tesla employs over 127,000 workers across the globe, including over 20,000 at its Fremont factory in California. The folks at UAW have been accused of targeting Tesla in an enduring feud involving owner and billionaire Elon Musk. So where did this all begin? The auto workers' strike that kicked off in September was a pretty wild experience with lots of unexpected twists. The United Auto Workers did something totally new when they launched a big strike against major automotive companies that included Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. Shawn Fain, UAW boss, called the protest a stand-up strike in what was to be a strategy to give the union negotiators more power and flexibility to get a great contract. In a list of demands, the UAW requested for auto workers better pay that kept up with the rising cost of living, an end to unfair treatment of new employees, and the restoration of lost benefits from the 2008 financial crisis. They also pushed for a shorter work week and better job security, especially with more electric cars being made. The strike caught the attention of big names like Bernie Sanders and even President Joe Biden, who chimed in demanding higher wages for auto workers. What many did not know was tensions were already high between the UAW and the big three car companies even before last year started. There was frustration on the part of the union given how GM, Ford, and Stellantis have been making huge profits in recent years, and yet the employees weren't seeing much improvement in their paychecks. According to the UAW, these car giants made a whopping $21 billion in profit just in the first half of 2023 and a massive $250 billion in profits in the last 10 years. In contrast, Fain points out that employee wages have only gone up by 6% over the last 4 years. Even though both Fain and the car company said they wanted to negotiate honestly and make a deal before the deadline, Fain claimed the companies basically waited until the last 8 days to start talking seriously. Ford sent a counterproposal at the beginning of September, and GM and Stellantis offered their deals just 1 week before the contract deadline. Fain made it clear to the media that they'd warned all three companies beforehand that they wouldn't be doing things the usual way. September 14th was not just a date to them, it was a strict deadline, not just a reference point. However, according to Fain, the companies chose to follow the same old pattern of delaying, which added to the frustration and tension during the negotiations. After more than 6 weeks of intense strikes, the UAW finally struck deals with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. But guess what? The next big thing on their agenda isn't just about these big shots anymore. They're eyeing other players like Tesla, Toyota, and Volkswagen, hoping to bring them into the union fold, especially Tesla. Elon Musk's Tesla has been on the UAW's radar for a while. With their massive presence in the U.S., especially in states like California, Texas, Nevada, and New York, it was bound to happen. Word is at Tesla's California factory, the UAW is talking to workers, spreading the word about the benefits of joining a union and fighting for better deals together. Tesla workers told Insider they wouldn't want to work in a unionized factory and predicted that the UAW would struggle to find its footing at the EV company. With the new UAW contracts, Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis are set to spend up to $35 more per hour than Tesla on labor costs, including hourly wages and benefits. Even before the 36-day strike, Ford and GM already spent over $20 more per hour on factory workers than Tesla, according to analysts. But here's the catch. Tesla's employees actually get paid on an hourly basis more than their unionized counterparts from the big three automakers. Tesla employees, apart from making more money, also receive benefits such as health insurance and even Tesla stock. Being a company that does not utilize union labor like Japanese automakers Toyota and Honda, Tesla is subjected to a substantial amount of criticism about its workforce. Over the years, Tesla's been accused of being anti-union, with the National Labor Relations Board deciding earlier last year that the company violated labor laws when it fired a union activist in the past. Musk was also ordered to delete a tweet which stated that Tesla workers would have to give up their Tesla stock options if they were to unionize. It should be noted that Tesla's Fremont factory used to be NUMMI, a union-run plant jointly operated by Toyota and GM. NUMMI was closed down following GM's bankruptcy in 2009, which caused a lot of tense situations with the factory's unionized workforce. During a meeting between NUMMI employees and UAW officials amidst the closure of the plant, things became so heated that an outraged worker and a union official ended up in a cussing match. A physical altercation almost happened as well. Perhaps it is then unsurprising to see that Tesla's workers, some of which may likely know how the NUMMI union workers were left out to dry in the past, are not necessarily enthusiastic about unionizing today. With that being said, during a TV show called Face the Nation on CBS in September, Sean Fain and Democratic Representative Debbie Dingell from Michigan talked about the worker strike at the time. They touched on a lot of topics, as expected, and also saved something for Tesla. Fain isn't the biggest fan of Elon Musk, and he didn't fail to express that. Here's the deal. Tesla doesn't have unionized labor, which means their workers aren't part of a workers' union, so even when UAW was on strike, Tesla's factories were running as usual. So it was clear, as experts pointed out, that Tesla would benefit from this situation in the labor talks with UAW. On the other hand, the other big three expressed their concerns that the demands of the UAW would make their labor costs more than double. And guess what? Ford's labor costs were already higher than Tesla, Toyota, and other companies that don't have unionized workers. Fain responded to all this by saying that the money spent on workers' wages is just a small part of how much a car costs. He argued that even if they doubled the workers' wages, it wouldn't significantly increase the car prices. According to him, it's a choice these big companies make. He then went on to criticize Tesla and other companies for paying their workers very little, while in his own words, greedy people like Elon Musk were making loads of money, often spending it on things like building rockets and going to outer space. Musk didn't hold back, slamming the UAW's demands as a guaranteed path to bankruptcy for the big three companies. Musk and Tesla's anti-UAW stance is one rhetoric that's gained ground over the years, as certain Tesla workers have allegedly been fired over attempts to start a union. In 2022, Musk exposed UAW when an ex-official from the union pleaded guilty to embezzling a hefty $2.2 million from its workers. Timothy Edmonds, a former secretary-treasurer of UAW Local 412, admitted guilt on charges of embezzling union funds and money laundering. He was found to have systematically drained the local's bank accounts, totaling around $2.2 million. Edmonds misused the labor group's credit card for personal expenses, such as cashing local checks and transferring money into his personal accounts, as stated by the U.S. Attorney's Office. In addition to these financial misdeeds, Edmonds used these stolen funds to buy guns, cars, and indulge in gambling activities. He even used the money to fulfill his child support obligations. Taking delight in the drama, Elon Musk jumped on his X platform, pointing out that the UAW's slogan might as well be fighting for the right to embezzle money from auto workers. He wasted no time in pointing out that while the UAW had a history of swindling millions from workers, Tesla had a different approach. Thanks to stock grants, Tesla had turned many of its workers into millionaires. While Musk sees Tesla as a creator of wealth for its employees, he portrays the UAW in a starkly different light, highlighting the contrast between their methods and outcomes. Before the embezzlement incident, Musk had made a daring move telling the UAW to hold a vote at Tesla factories whenever they felt like it. His argument was crystal clear. In the crazy competitive job scene of the Bay Area, if Tesla hadn't treated their awesome employees like gold, these talented folks could have easily found better opportunities elsewhere. But this move wasn't just about the invite. It was Musk saying, look, Tesla's the place to be. He was throwing down the gauntlet, daring UAW to test Tesla's rep as a top-notch employer. Elon Musk didn't just start promoting fair employee treatment at Tesla, he's been at it for years. Way back in May 2018, he made it clear that Tesla, in his eyes, was treating its employees way better than the UAW. He pointed out that Tesla employees at their car plant could have voted for a union anytime they wanted. But here's the catch. Why pay union dues and give up valuable stock options for what he deemed as nothing in return? According to Musk, Tesla's safety record was twice as good as when the plant was under the UAW, and all employees already had health care benefits. In his view, joining a union didn't offer any significant advantages compared to what Tesla was already providing. It must be said that despite the embezzlement scandal, Fain and the UAW struck a tentative agreement with the Big Three at a time when various labor movements were gaining traction. What's interesting is the shift in the U.S. public's perception of unions since Tesla's last unionization attempts. Back in 2016, just over half of Americans approved of labor unions, but now in 2023, that number's risen significantly to around 67%. There have always been talks of Tesla employees about forming a union, but previous attempts to unionize Tesla plants in the U.S. have flopped. It's a real uphill battle. Some experts believe that the most probable outcome in all of this is that Tesla workers will likely reject the UAW and in return secure a pay raise for remaining non-union. There's an estimated raise pegged at 20%, slightly lower than the 25% increase the UAW secured in its recent contract negotiations. The dynamics of the workers' rights movement are evolving, setting the stage for a significant showdown at Tesla. The ground seems ripe for a new chapter in the fight for workers' rights. It'll be fascinating to see who breaks first. Thanks for watching. Until next time.